Good morning. I just bought the papers. I went to change, and after change, of course, I bought the newspapers. I'm somehow disturbed with the, okay, not disturbed, let's say, you know, I am concerned with the media. You see, politics in Zambia, and I think elsewhere, what sells to the media is the negativity, is the sensational statements. That's what sells. Sober statements, you know, they don't really sell, you know, in newspapers. For example, I went through, you know, look, this is the mast, and you know, Lungu is teasing Zambians. He's only talking about retirement house. What about the pension and so on? You find that. So here is Wamlongoti. Wamlongoti, I respect him so much. He's like, you know, my political father. Wamlongoti is not so. He's not so sensational. He's not so. He doesn't issue, you know, exaggerated statements. He's quite sober in his interactions. But somehow, you know, when he says something, the media wants to make it look so. You know, the way it comes out, it is such that it is so provocative. If you look at this, Lungu is just teasing Zambians. I am concerned with this kind of statements. You know, with this kind of statements, I think with the dialogue and reconciliation process, I think we need to be very, very careful with such statements. You need to be very, very careful with such statements. Then there is also that statement, okay, it's coming from Longoti, right? But then, look at this other one. Look at this other one. Yeah, this one. Look at this one. Yeah? Thieves sold parastatos cheaply. And this is being alluded to President Edgar Lungu. Thieves sold parastatos cheaply. And that statement is being alluded to President Edgar Lungu. If you think of it, at this time, at this juncture, when we're talking about dialogue and reconciliation, I think we need to avoid these kind of statements. We need to avoid these kind of statements. Please, I don't know, but surely I think these kind of statements are not going to help us. Thieves sold parastatos cheaply. Which thieves? Who are these thieves are we talking about? I think we need to refrain from this kind of headlines, you know. And then we have also this other one. This, look at this one. Kambwili done out. Really? Kambwili done out. Really? Is that a good statement? Is it good? Is it fostering the dialogue and reconciliation that we have started? And this is the attitude I want to take myself. I said it, I apologize, and I meant it. I'm changing the way I'm doing politics. You won't get this kind of statements from me. You won't get this kind of statements. Instead, I want to be the voice of reason. I want to be the pioneer of this dialogue and reconciliation process. Of course, our political party is very small, you know, and yeah, I'm not that a big deal. The big deals are President Edgar Lungu and Hakainde Hichilema, and therefore I would urge that these big politicians, so to say, these big politicians avoid these kind of statements. They avoid, you know, these kind of statements, okay? These kind of statements, we avoid them. And of course, for the media, we avoid these kind of headlines. Kambwili done out. I don't think these are the kind of statements that we need to be getting in this time of reconciliation, dialogue and reconciliation. So I just wanted to bring out this physically to say, look, we need to change. We need to start this dialogue and reconciliation process. It has to start with our attitudes. It has to start with our attitudes. Please, let's look at ourselves and start changing, personally, especially the political leaders. But I'm also appealing to you, bloggers, the general public, especially the bloggers. I mean, let's see, how we can sober up. This country can move forward if we change our attitudes. All I'm begging, and from now onwards, the only thing that you'll be seeing from me is, asking people to change their attitudes, to have a positive attitude, to respect one another, to speak. Yes, we can control. I'm not saying that we shouldn't control, we shouldn't offer checks and balances, we shouldn't criticize. We can criticize, but in a respectful manner, in a way that will not offend someone. Certainly, if you say, Kambwili dang out of whatever the place, that is offensive. That is offensive to Kambwili. If you say thieves sold parastatos cheaply, which thieves are you talking about? That might, make somebody feel not happy. Let us avoid that. No, Kambwili, Edgar Lungu is just teasing. He's just teasing us. Come on. And let's be positive sometimes. I think what Edgar Lungu said is something that we should all accept and encourage. I think so. Other than us coming up and trying to pour scorn on a good initiative that Edgar Lungu has put forward, I think we need to refrain from that. Basically, just that I just wanted to say that have a good Sunday. Please go to church if you haven't gone to church already. Have a blessed Sunday. Bye for now. Where do I press? Oh.